Coming up on this edition of SUTV News, President Bresciani reflects on recent athletic achievements and administrative gains.
An inside look at KNDS's news director.
And in sports, women's club hockey prepares for nationals.
This is SUTV News, and it starts now.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Cassie Rolfing.
And I'm Abby Furchner. The Fargo Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating a missing child.
12-year-old Lena Grace D'Oliveira of Fargo is missing. She was last seen at her home in Southwest Fargo on Wednesday, February 25th, around 6:30 a.m. She is 5 feet 8 inches, around 120 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair. If you know the whereabouts of Lena, you are asked to contact the Fargo Police Department at 701-235-4493.
Last week, we gave you the first segment of our 3-part sit-down interview with President Dean Bresciani. Tonight, we find out how our president feels about athletics at our university and what it's like to lose but also gain many administrative positions.
When you got the job, did you ever think like the success in athletics with obviously the 4-peat, the men's basketball making it to the March Madness, did you ever think that would happen when you were here?
And I'll broaden out my response even beyond that. Simply NDSU becoming a top 100 research university and then becoming the top ranked university in a 5-state area. Throw on top of that the overall athletic program becoming one of the winningest in Division I sports. That's the sort of things that I certainly would have had as goals and aspirations, but them all coming together in the relatively short period of years that I've been here, 5 years, really is extraordinary. And I'm not aware of any college or university in the nation that has experienced so much success both academically and athletically in such a short time frame.
How do you think the success of the athletics, has it affected NDSU in any way?
Division I athletics in this nation gets a lot of attention, particularly on the national media level. And what that does when we're successful in those venues is that people look at NDSU in a different way. We've been a top 100 research university for about 4 years, but athletics is what gets people to look and realize that.
What's it been like for NDSU, because we've lost a lot of higher ups throughout the few years, like Gene Taylor, Prakash, Rayford, Bowl, Phillips, and DeHoff. Like, how has that affected us?
Well, you know, it's actually a good health sign. We have certainly lost some very talented, successful people, but what we're finding is very talented, successful people that are taking their place. You know, the classic example is Coach Bowl leaving and Coach Kleiman accomplishing something that has never happened in NCAA Division I history, ever. We're seeing the same sort of thing happening in basketball. We're seeing very talented people being drawn to NDSU because we're so successful.
We have a lot of new faces like Alvarez, Larson, Ingram, and then all the coaches. How has it, I guess what I'm trying to say is just because they're all so new, how has that changed us too?
Well, it's been pretty balanced. I don't, you know, when you list them all off, it sounds like a lot, but those all haven't changed in the same period of time. And we've been very balanced about the talented leaders who have left and the talented people who have come in their place. And when we lose talented people, we're very often finding equally, if not even more talented people to take their place. And the new energy and perspectives and expertise they bring to our university are part of why we continue to excel at the trajectory that we do.
Stay tuned next week for our 3rd and final segment with President Bresciani.
The NDSU Residence Hall Association, better known as RHA, has won many awards over the past 2 weeks, but many students may not know what it is. SUTV's Abby Furchner took an inside look at RHA.
Welcome to Syme Hall, a place for first-year students, but also the home of the RHA office. A question that may be on many students' minds is, what is RHA?
All of our halls each have an individual hall government, which then reports up to RHA, and that is the major organization that deals with any of the issues or concerns that students have within the residence halls.
However, RHA is much more than just a place to go on campus, but a community of encouraging and empowering people. For students who are already involved, it's something they won't regret.
First-year students, and so they haven't really developed their idea of what leadership is or what they can do yet. So I get to help guide them through all that, and they're all very excited and have the time and effort to put into things. So I would say just watching them get excited is my favorite part.
RHA has taken home several awards over the years and represents NDSU wherever they go.
We're very proud of the students' work. It's all student-driven and student-run, and it's elected and voted on by students as well.
The impact that this organization leaves on students is life-changing. RHA teaches those involved how to develop skills that they can carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Is leadership development. That includes so many different things, like finding out your own passions, finding out your leadership style, your style as a member of a team.
Abby Furchner, SU TV News.
Those interested in getting involved should ask their residence assistants about hall government. You can also visit NDSU's Residence Life Facebook page.
It's all the craze in diets right now, but is it really all it's all cracked up to be? Find out more when we come back.
After this week's 7-day forecast.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the power of free checking with Kasasa. First Community Credit Union offers free ATMs, mobile banking, and are conveniently located right next to the campus of NDSU. We also offer Kasasa, which is a free checking account that pays you cash. Kasasa requires no minimum deposit to open, no monthly service fees, and don't forget the free ATMs. Discover the power of Kasasa at your local First Community Credit Union.
The NDSU bookstore has everything you need to show off your Bison pride. The bookstore can have you sporting green and gold wherever you go. It offers many different brands, sizes, styles, and selection so that you find exactly what you're looking for. Shop the NDSU bookstore and show your spirit today.
Welcome back. It seems to be in almost everything we eat: bread, pastas, beer, and even some sauces, to name just a few.
What is it? Gluten. Gluten-free diets have been a popular fad lately, but is it worth making it your lifestyle? We went out and found out more. Rhombus Guys and Vinyl Taco are just two of the many places in Fargo that you can go to and order a gluten-free item. But what exactly is gluten anyway?
Gluten is a very large protein that is found in certain grains like wheat, rye, oats, barley, and any derivative.
Some foods that contain gluten are pastas, pizza, bread, stuffing, and even some salad dressings. That sounds like a lot of common foods. So why have restaurants, stores, and manufacturers added gluten-free options?
Celiac disease is gluten intolerant.
What exactly is that?
It is an autoimmune disease.
In layman's terms?
Basically, I can't have any more wheat flour at all. So.
Some side effects of those with celiac and gluten intolerance are stomach pains, gas, and anemia. But a simple change in diet is all it takes to feel better. And to those with the disease, it's worth it.
I think of it this way. You wouldn't eat poison, would you? Dietary changes for the better. I mean, I feel great. I never knew I was sick. I mean, Now I feel like, oh, I have energy, pep, vim, vigor. I never knew I was supposed to feel this way. Never knew it. I feel great.
Wait, how is this not the best option for everybody?
A lot of B vitamins are added to our greens that are being taken away if you're following some sort of fad diet like that.
Although there are people who do need to be on a gluten-free diet, is this fad of gluten-free when you don't need it gonna stay?
Hopping on a gluten-free kick, even though you don't need to, it'll probably make its cycles.
But if you can't have gluten and still have a sweet tooth, don't worry. Local bakery Bakeology offers gluten-free options as well.
Started out, my business partner and I both had family members that either had an intolerance or celiac or an allergy to gluten, so we thought it was really important to have that as an option for people in the community who also had those problems and needed something sweet in their life.
Cassie Rolfing reporting.
This is one of our most popular ones.
SU TV News. For students around campus, you can also check out the Residence Dining Center for gluten-free options. They have a special room strictly for those who need to be gluten-free. There is also a gluten intolerance support group that meets every month to exchange recipes and find out the best restaurants to enjoy their meals as well.
KNDS Radio News Director, second-year Spectrum Award-winning writer, Gold Star Marching Band member, and an NDSU student. Ben Norman may only be a sophomore, but he has already left his mark at NDSU. SUTV's Stephen Anderson has more.
A measles outbreak that began in Disneyland is intensifying the debates over vaccinations.
When Ben Norman came to NDSU last year, he didn't know what career he wanted to pursue, but he did know his greatest passion, educating and informing others.
I think ignorance is something that is unacceptable in today's day and age. You should know what's going on in the world, and to not is, one, itself a problem, and two, I think also to know that there's a problem and not do anything about it is an even worse problem. According to Pew Research Center reports,
Only a sophomore now, Ben has been quick to make that passion a reality. When he took over as the news director for NDSU's campus radio station KNDS this fall, he had big plans in mind. This semester, he's launching one of the station's first regular morning news shows.
The News and Tunes program really is kind of the embodiment, I think, of being the news director here at KNDS thus far. I really enjoy waking up, finding, I think, the top news that I think will be most relevant.
It takes a certain personality to keep a twice-weekly morning show interesting. KNDS's advisor Brad Jones thinks Ben brings a unique voice to the show and the station as a whole.
He really just has an interest in learning, and he likes to pass on information and just in a really fun way.
But Ben's day is far from over when he turns off the microphone. A staff writer for the Spectrum since his first days at NDSU, Ben also took over as the paper's news editor this year, a position that he finds constantly challenging and rewarding.
You just do it, I think. I mean, I could walk around during the day and complain, and I do complain quite a bit more than I need to. Complain about how crazy my life is, but I got myself into this mess, and I honestly would have it no other way.
Ben's tenacity has been paying off. At a recent journalism convention put on by the Associated College Press, he took home awards for outstanding news and feature stories and saw the Spectrum win awards for Best Special Issue and Best Overall Weekly Paper. Though he keeps himself busy with reporting and tutoring, Ben still finds time to play saxophone in the Gold Star Marching Band. He also completed last year's half marathon in Fargo. For SUTV News, I'm Stephen Anderson.
Winter and Fargo. They're not always a great combination. Fargo has seen below average snowfall this winter, but that's not what's on everyone's mind. Below average temperatures seem to be sticking around, and even those conditioned are having a tough time staying warm. International students not used to these freezing temps are finding unique and cheaper ways on how to deal with the weather.
I always check the weather channel, like the weather apps in the smartphone, so that I can know like what the temperature is.
I took the Australian girl to the thrift shop. She didn't want to buy a super expensive coat because she was only going to be here for 3 or 4 months. So we went to the thrift shop and found her a cheap, nice coat.
NDSU has around 1,000 international students from 75 different countries.
When we come back, we take a look at a gallery exhibit that reflects the term trophy wife.
Stay with us. The NDSU bookstore has everything you need to show off your Bison pride. The bookstore can have you sporting green and gold wherever you go. It offers many different brands, sizes, styles, and selection so that you find exactly what you're looking for. Shop the NDSU bookstore and show your spirit today.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the power of free checking with Kasasa. First Community Credit Union offers free ATMs, mobile banking, and are conveniently located right next to the campus of NDSU. We also offer Kasasa, which is a free checking account that pays you cash. Kasasa requires no minimum deposit to open, no monthly service fees, and don't forget the free ATMs. Discover the power of Kasasa at your local First Community Credit Union.
SUTV News is a production of the Bison Information Network in conjunction with North Dakota State University's Department of Communication Broadcast Program. For more information, go to www.ndsubin.com.
Welcome back. When you hear the phrase trophy wife, what comes to mind?
Local artists' interpretations of the label are on display in the Memorial Union. 7 area artists collaborated on the project, but each went in their own unique direction. Pieces included unraveling fabric to show the demise of a relationship, actual trophies reclaiming the pride in marriage, or words and symbols examining gendered nature of language use.
They're kind of posing it to the next generation of college students as, like, where do we take this term today? Are we still putting it under erasure? Are we still challenging it? Or have we moved beyond the idea of a trophy wife? Can we reclaim that term, or is it still a negative term?
The display is part of Women's Week and is in the Union Gallery until March 26th.
If you find yourself in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, who would you want on your side?
For this week's Sidewalk Stampede, we went out and discovered who students on campus would have as their right-hand man.
Who would you want to be stuck in a zombie apocalypse with?
My brother.
Why?
Well, we kind of have the same type of mind, and I mean, we talk about some of these things sometimes, so have it.
It's a really tough question. Chuck Norris, obviously, because he just dominates everything.
Zac Efron, because he's hot. Maybe. Yeah.
My best friend, Cole Pesciut, because he's my best friend. Oh, excuse me.
Probably me and myself. Why? I know I'm not a zombie.
Let's see. Probably my friend Cole Alexander. He's a wrestler, and he always looks out for me, and I know he'd be able to fight off any zombies that came his way.
My baby, because she's fun. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know, somebody who probably like has just this full arsenal of weapons in his garage or something, so he could like just help me murk all these zombies. I don't know. like I don't know.
Joining us now is Sports Director Joel Sipper.
Joel, what do you have for us in sports?
Well, coming up next, we're going to have NDSU women's hockey as they prepare for nationals.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the power of free checking with Kasasa. First Community Credit Union offers free ATMs, mobile banking, and are conveniently located right next to the campus of NDSU. We also offer Kasasa, which is a free checking account that pays you cash. Kasasa requires no minimum deposit to open, no monthly service fees, and don't forget the free ATMs. Discover the power of Kasasa at your local First Community Credit Union.
The NDSU bookstore has everything you need to show off your Bison pride. The bookstore can have you sporting green and gold wherever you go. It offers many different brands, sizes, styles, and selection so that you find exactly what you're looking for. Shop the NDSU bookstore and show your spirit today.
Welcome back. From October to February, the NDSU women's club hockey team has been tearing it up. The Bison are the #1 team in the West, entering the ACHWA 2015 National Tournament. This is one team that hasn't slowed up once and has kept it consistent throughout the year. A 21-3 record demonstrates the hard work this team has been putting in this season. NDSU has learned to understand each other and gel together so that they have come together as a unit.
Well, I think we have a lot more commitment than we have in the past. We've been working out at the beginning of the year. We had started off with dry land before they even had ice in the rinks, and we play 2 nights a week, and we come here early sometimes to dry land or chalk talk. So I think there's a lot more commitment this year.
The amount of different ages of people, we have a lot of veterans on the team who are, well aware of how this team works, how this team operates. And then we also have a lot of young people who are fresh out of high school who still have those high school hockey legs, and they're not out of shape as much as everybody else.
NDSU will be kicking off their playoffs Wednesday, March 4th against Northern Michigan in York, Pennsylvania. Even in a short 2-year stint at NDSU, senior Brooke Lamar has climbed her way up the NDSU record books. Lamar is the 31st women's basketball player to reach 1,000 points in her career, and Thursday, along with fellow seniors Liz Kina and Lisa Brown, will take the floor one last time at home for Senior Day. Lamar is second in NDSU history for average points per game with 17 and assists per game with 5, and is the all-time leader in minutes per game with 36.5. Other seniors Elisa Brown and Liz Kina have stepped up this year as well, with Brown averaging a career high in minutes this year with 16 per game, Kina averaging a career best in points 6.5 and rebounds this year with 6 a game. When Lawrence Alexander came to NDSU, he was joined by 2 others in his class. Chris Kading, who was redshirted his freshman year, and Joel Lindenberg, who eventually left the program due to knee issues. Now LA stands alone, not only at the top of the NDSU record books, but literally alone for the senior class. While kicking it out for Senior Day, LA just playing in Fargo one last time as he's going to come off early as he hits the jumper, Bison up 2-0. IPFW would answer though a fast break. Azai McRae slams her home. Bison are still up 8-6 at this point. Here we're gonna have a nice sequence from AJ Jacobson who stuffs it, and then he's gonna hustle down the floor and he's gonna knock down the J for 3. NDSU up 19-12. Jacobson had 16 points as he's jacked up there, but Mo Evans answers back with a 3 in the second half. Don's within 3. Midway, it's gonna be Jacobson again who silences it as he gets the 3. That's pretty much all she wrote. Alexander closes out his career at home with the 27-point performance as the Bison went on to beat the Macedon 66-62. NDSU will close out its regular season Thursday against Oral Roberts. Last year, Bison head coach Saul Phillips gave Carlin Dupree the nickname the band player, meaning when Carlin is playing basketball, he's going to do something that will either get NDSU's band playing or the opponent's band playing. NDSU has lived up to the excitement of that name this year, but has limited the time the opposing bands play. The sophomore guard has been a catalyst for the Bison this year as he ranks 10th in assists per game with nearly 3 and 10th in steals per game with 1.3. Dupree has come a long way after an arm injury sidelined him last year and hindered his development. And now that Dupree is seeing significant playing times, he is averaging 33 minutes a game. He's taking his game to new heights.
Carlin, and I don't hesitate to say this, is as talented a young man as we've had in our program as far as quickness, athleticism, but there's no question his attitude, his energy, his effort in practice has been outstanding. And
just getting comfortable out there. Since you out there playing a lot of minutes, you get comfortable. And last year I wasn't in my comfort zone as much as I am now because I'm actually playing a lot now.
Well, when you win 4 championships in a row, you're kind of a big deal. And the Bison football is receiving recognition from everywhere. North Dakota legislature recognized NDSU football and Chris Kleiman for its unprecedented level of dominance in the NCAA Division I football. Hauskin's current resolution 3025 acknowledges the team's list and accomplishments. Notes also recognize senior class who had more championships than losses. If the resolution passes, the Senate, the Secretary of State will send a copy to Chris Kleiman, NDSU Athletic Director Matt Larson, and NDSU President Dean Bresciani.
Well, thanks, Joel. After the break, NDSU's president makes a special monetary donation.
Stay with us.
More than 400 million people use Facebook to stay connected with family, friends, and colleagues, in addition to the millions of others who use Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Flickr for networking purposes. While Facebook and other social media sites are great tools to help you connect with friends and build networks, you should also be aware of the potential dangers associated with using these tools. So, let's talk tech. First of all, always be mindful of what you and your friends are posting online. Nothing online is private, no matter what security settings a website may boast. Anything posted online stays online. So take time to consider what you and your friends are putting online before you post it. For example, do you want your potential employers or your current boss to see embarrassing pictures that your friends have posted? There's also the question of how much information should you disclose on a social media site. Posting too much personal information could lead to lost job opportunities, harassment, internet stalking, and identity theft. Don't publicize information that the public doesn't need to know. Finally, you should think about who you want to see those things you've posted online. By evaluating the appropriateness of the privacy settings on your social media site, it is recommended that you customize your settings such that only your close friends can see your personal information, such as your home address, email, and phone numbers. Ideally, this information should not even be online. Additionally, social media networks frequently update their security protocols, so be sure to review and update your security settings regularly. With these precautions, you will be well on your way to enjoying a safe and secure social networking experience.
President Bresciani made a special monetary donation this week to the Battle of Senses for a little girl in need. Bresciani donated change for 2-year-old Bryn Hamry, who has had 2 open heart surgeries and may be in need for another one. Bryn is the daughter of NDSU senior lecturer Kelly Hamry. The College of Engineering and the College of Pharmacy, Nursing, and Allied Sciences put on the Battle of Senses in an effort to raise money for Bryn's rising health costs.
Thank you for watching this edition of SUTV News.
Be sure to pick up a copy of The Spectrum and check us out on Facebook or Twitter.
Also, visit us at ndsubin.com for your chance to win some special prizes.
Have a great night.